Let's go ahead and continue our exploration of these materials by double-clicking on the material. And let's take a look at the material editor we have here. Now, as you see, we have a sample of what the material currently looks like. And what we could do is go to where it says presets, and we can see we have all kinds of stuff hidden in here. All kinds of insanity, from an airbrush effect to Chinese brushes, as you see here, to chalk, to honeycomb marker. I mean, it's really unprecedented what you can get out of this one shader. And as always, I'm going to make sure that I tear off my render region so I have access so I can see what it looks like. So let's go ahead and just do a couple of experiments here. I'm going to go to my presets here, and I'm going to go down to some of the sketch categories. Now, it doesn't necessarily say sketch on many of them, but when you're dealing with pencils, you're typically sketching. And sometimes when you're doing technical sketches, you'll have the tech category. And you also have chalk and watercolor. So, you can do sketches in a variety of different media. So let's go ahead and explore the pencil sketch. And you'll get a quick update as to what it looks like here. And we will do a quick render region. As you see, we now have a simple sketch. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back to my settings here. So I can just turn the custom color back to white and the background color as well. Let's go ahead and just reset those real fast so that when we do our render region, we can more clearly see what the result looks like, as you see here. Okay, so now we have a nice pencil sketch. And I'm going to go and choose a different one this time. Let's check out what the oil brush looks like. That looks quite interesting already. Let's do a quick region test. As you can see, you can do stuff that would be, well, I would say almost impossible to do without manually tracing every single frame in a technique called rotoscoping. So this will save you a ton of time. Let's take a look now at one of my favorites. I like the tech look. And this would give you the kind of look as if though you were doing like architecture almost. So I'm going to go ahead and render a region real fast. And you have a very precise technical pen with like a ruler look here, as if you were planning out maybe building this mech. We also have felt markers. So we have a soft, thick marker, as you see here. Do a quick render. And it's interesting that you get the actual start of when you press a marker down on paper with this effect. It's quite mind-boggling, actually. And if you've ever used a thick marker, as soon as you press that tip on the paper, sometimes you will get this kind of bleed before you start to drag the marker across the surface of the paper. So some of the other things you can do, by the way, let me go back to another category. Let's go back to the tech marker again. What you can do with some of these guys, by the way, is you can also continue playing with different things. For example, the thickness of the line. So you can look at the preview here and change things. You don't have to just necessarily deal with what you have here. You can change the color of that line. So I might want to make it a light blue line. I can change the opacity of the line. I can distort it if I want to. And I can change the strokes. So let's go ahead and just do a quick render to see these basic settings applied. And we have a very thick blue line now. I'm going to go ahead and drop the thickness down quite a bit. And let's try that again. So as you can see, it's like a draftsman line. So, you're planning out a building or you're planning out a tank and you have that blue line that you'll typically see comic book artists use, as well as people who are planning architectural structures. So that is a quick look, once again, at Toon and Sketch.